Hello there gorgeous gamers and welcome back to Pure Play TV, and we've got a review for the very funny South Park Snow Day, and fair warning for those with delicate ears, there will be a few naughty words in this review, sometimes from me, other times on screen from the game. You have been warned. It's been a very long time since I've had anything to do with South Park. I missed out on the two previous RPGs, Stick of Truth and Broken But Whole, and I've not watched the TV show since I was in secondary school, so going into South Park Snow Day, I didn't know what to expect. I was happily surprised to find that South Park Snow Day is a very fun game to play, though for me the highlight was the game's comedy rather than its gameplay. South Park Snow Day is an action-adventure game designed to be played as a group, though you can play solo if you want, and the game spawns in AI players as and when they're needed. This is how I played South Park Snow Day for most of my time with the game, and I can say that if you're a solo player, it's perfectly doable. The game's opening sets the tone with a short intro movie setting up the game's events. Cartman does not want to go to school, and with an apocalyptical snowstorm hitting the town, the potty-mouthed chubby boy is hoping for a snow day. He gets his wish as the town is covered in a mega dumping of the white stuff, and an epic snow day ensues. Cartman grabs his gear, heads outside, and then the game shifts from the familiar 2D animation into a lovely 3D scene. I know a lot of South Park's enduring charm comes from its distinctive animation style, but the shift into 3D for this game is not a terrible thing, and there's no mistaking it's still very much South Park. The story goes that you're the unnamed new kid, and you're joining Cartman, Kyle, Stan, Kenny, and other familiar characters in the neighborhood Snow Day war game. It's the stuff of childhood memory. I remember being a kid and having school cancelled due to snow. The adults were all, "Stay inside, it's dangerous out there." While as kids, we didn't see any danger, we saw an opportunity. Snowball fights in the park, high-speed chases down the mountain on improvised sleds. The chance to write our names in the snow with our, well, you know. South Park Snow Day taps into that childhood sense of imagination, but on a much grander scale. You'll tackle the neighbourhood kids with swords, bows and arrows, magic wands, and so on. Actually, so on implies there's much more, but the reality is there are only a handful of melee and ranged weapons, which seems rather low for this kind of game. When it comes to special abilities, however, there's much more to play around with. The game is broken up into 5 campaign chapters, each one having 5 sections. The idea is that before each campaign, you and your foes will come to the stump table and choose your special abilities for the run, which includes picking a bullshit card. This is your BS power-up that could either be laser beams from your eyes, hellfire raining down from above, a group of minions joining you in battle for a short time, and, well, you get the picture. Your enemies also get these BS cards, and when they're activated during battle, the game takes a short break to shout, "Bullshit!" and then shows you what the enemy buff will be. It got a big laugh out of me the first time, and come the end of the game, it was still getting those laughs out of me. What can I say? I am a potty-mouthed child at heart. Once the cards have been dealt, it's time to start the run and make your way through the sections until you reach the end boss of that campaign. The run of play is, for the most part, straightforward. You move through the level, get ambushed by enemies, take them out, gather their dropped loot, maybe have a quick mooch of the area to get some valuable goodies, and then carry on. Some sections mix it up with some very light puzzle gameplay, like lighting fires, hunting down a cannonball to break ice blocking the path, or simply go here, find this item, bring it back, and then continuing. And it's fine, again, for the most part. Being that it's a multiplayer-centric game, I can see why the focus is on feeding the player with a constant stream of enemies to fight, and not slow-paced, cinematic, thought-provoking, intellectual gameplay. That just wouldn't be on brand for South Park. My problem though is that while the majority of the game is combat-focused, the combat doesn't feel quite right. It's lacking the impactful feedback that tells the player they've landed a blow. I think this is in part down to the audio. I noticed that with the sword and shield and daggers, I got very little audio feedback from striking little kids with my weapons, and the vibration on the controller was minimal, and you can completely forget about any haptic support for the DualSense. It did get a little better once I got my hands on the two-handed axe, which actually had some clunk and clink when I twatted preschoolers around, though this weapon comes more or less towards the end of the game, so too little too late. Despite my annoyances with the combat, some sections of the game truly dragged with a seemingly endless supply of annoying little kids, I still had a good laugh with South Park Snow Day due to its childish humour. The writing is spot on, as expected, as the show's creators were heavily involved. I can't remember the last time I laughed out loud so much while playing a game. One particular line from Cartman, berating me for letting a gay lord with metal sticks beat me up, had me howling with laughter. It's the exact kind of stuff a foul-mouthed 8-year-old would say, and for me, kids swearing, whether fictional or real life, my kid Charlie has extensive knowledge of the 4-letter words, all of them. It's one of the funniest things in the world. Well, that and kids fighting, and South Park gives me plenty of both, so consider me satisfied. And satisfied I was once the end credits rolled around. Satisfied, but not particularly hungry for more. See, South Park Snow Day is designed to be replayed over and over. During your first playthrough, you'll unlock some extra perks like dealing more damage in combat, starting runs with extra health, etc. But there's no way you'll unlock all of them on your first go. You'll need to repeat the campaigns again and again to unlock everything, from perks to cosmetics, and obviously that means going through the same battles again, except each time you'll be a little stronger. For some, that loop of gaining incremental improvements and doing it again may be enough, but it's not for me. As I said, while I had fun playing the game, my highlight was the excellent writing and the delivery of the game's strong script. Repeating it would dilute the humour and sour my memory of the game. Imagine watching your favourite stand-up comedian doing the same show 3 times a week. The first time is a good laugh, the second is still a little fun but you already know the punchlines, and the third time onwards, it's just not very funny. For myself, South Park Snow Day is a one and done deal. I had my fun, I got reacquainted with some characters I'd left behind 15 years ago, and now the reunion is over. Well, unless there's an after party in the form of expansive DLC, in which case I'll get my snow boots on and venture out with the lads for some yellow snow adventures. All said, South Park Snow Day is a fun but flawed game. There's plenty to collect and unlock if that's what you appreciate, and the runtime is fair enough and offers reasons to go through it all again. The writing is excellent and it's genuinely one of the funniest games you'll play, providing you've got a taste for toilet water comedy. The general look and feel of the game are to be commended too. On PS5, where I played, the game barely dropped a frame the whole time, and I can't remember a single bug or glitch along the way. The problem is in its combat, which is core to the gameplay. It's functional, but lacking, and with every muted strike, I was distracted from the kids kicking the shit out of each other, and that is the biggest sin in my book. And that is the end of this review. Thank you for watching, it's always appreciated. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful and maybe want more in the future, do us a solid by hitting the like and subscribe buttons and giving the bell icon a ding so you get notified whenever we've got new stuff for you to watch. Also, be sure to check out our website, pureplaytv.com. I've been Chris, you've been gorgeous, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, cheers my dears.